NSFW, men of Reddit, what's the greatest realization you've had during post-nut clarity? This entire thread can be summed up in a range of 3 different things. 1. This woman is manipulating me. 2. I don't want this at all. 3. I am definitely in love. 4. Damn, this Waluigi hentai is fantastic. I gotta get out of this place. I should really get my life together. Still working. The older I get, the more pre-nut clarity I feel before even doing anything. No, I'm definitely more tired than horny. Yeah, that was the last time. Narrator: it wasn't. I really love this woman. This. Jesus. It is so gross. What the am I doing? Oh, that poor woman. How is this going to fix her sink? That I was being manipulated through. I will probably never. 5 big-breasted girls at the same time. Never any reason to really go more than 3. Thank God I didn't booty call her. Anytime I pull up my ex's contact on my phone, I always catch myself and say maybe you should fap on this first. Then I no longer have the desire to text my ex. Edit. After reading the advice of my fellow Redditors, I just changed all my ex's contact names to fap first. Why even bother trying to get a girlfriend when I can just do this when I was maybe 14? Some say he hasn't bothered trying to get a GF since. I feel personally attacked. Not me, I just keep on whacking it. I should debloat my Windows 10 install. Pre-nut. Why this girl smell like toasted marshmallows? Post-nut. Oh, that's cigarette smoke. That my wife was letting me have a threesome with her BFF because they wanted to have. And I was being bribed. Miss my ex. Miss my ex. Miss my ex. Ah, now I don't at all. I remember one time a while ago, my physics teacher gave me a take-home test to do. I'm not great at physics, and I tend to procrastinate, so it was like 3 a.m. and I was passing the time with a nice nut. Afterwards I totally remembered the right way to solve the question and finish the test. So now I can say that blasting rope literally let me pass physics with a B. So playing with your D gave you a B? Equivalent exchange. I have to leave this relationship. I am miserable and the does not even begin to make up for any of this at all. RIP inbox. Thanks for the support. Single and loving it. How much I actually love my wife. Not sure if this is a very sweet or very dark comment. It was meant to be sweet. Lol. We've been married for 10 years and I still feel the same for her as I did when we met. Many of my friends have already divorced and remarried, some more than once. So it's a happy time for me. I'd trade with a stranger for platonic friendship in a heartbeat. What the am I watching? I'm going to watch all these in a row. 2 minutes later, I never want to watch any of these ever again. I wasn't horny, I just wanted that hit of dopamine. It's sad how close to home this hits. That I was in a really toxic relationship. I was with the same girl for over 5 years. Started in high school, so I'd never had an intimate relationship with anyone else. I was always very attracted to her and we'd had some great times early on, but our relationship had long ago turned one-sided. Everything I was getting out of this was what I alone was putting into it. This girl also had, essentially, a non-existent drive, which is fine, of course. That's not some error or problem on her part. Everyone deserves to do what they feel comfortable with if they ever feel comfortable with it, and don't owe anyone anything more. The problem was how she responded to my drive. In 5 years we'd had maybe 15 times, and every single one became her go-to reminder for the next few months of how much she did for me. How selfless she was. I left jokes in her lunches that I packed every day. I bought her flowers and gifts at random just because I was thinking of her when I was at the store. I asked her once if she could start complimenting me more. Words of affirmation is my greatest love language. She said that felt uncomfortable. She didn't even remember to get me a Christmas present last year. But hey, I let you get laid last month became a irregular sentiment, if I mentioned to her that I was feeling aroused, or told her how beautiful she was. She shrugged it off and made me feel like I was ceaselessly horny. I'd been scared of this relationship failing for 5 years. I knew there were things I was unhappy with, but it seemed more comfortable to come home to a 6/10 happiness than try to go out and find something higher. But then you nut, and your head clears. And I look down at the woman who refuses any position but missionary, with whom foreplay or nudity is never allowed, and she's frowning. I know the last 2 minutes will be thrown at me for months to come. This relationship just ended. I don't wish her ill for anything about her libido, but I'll be heartbroken for a while knowing how much I shamed myself for being attracted to my girlfriend and wanting to be intimate with her. How much I made myself feel that was wrong and I was perverted and insatiable. Alucard spelled backwards is Dracula. That I loved my girlfriend and didn't just love the. I should have waited because this scene was better. There is no regret greater than finding a better scene or worse, better. Right after nutting. My lust. My greed. I deserve this. I really need to cut down on fapping. I should not watch Waluigi hentai anymore. Mostly stuff about optimizing some random piece of code. I can totally relate. I love having a moment of post-nut coding clarity. My coworkers aren't ever too happy about it though. You're not supposed to do it at work. I didn't really have anything in common with my then fiancé. 3 months after a breakup, my ex was trying to reconcile, and I was seriously considering it. I was seeing a guy, and the was great, but I knew he was way more serious than I was. I honestly didn't know what to do. After he curls up next to me and says, "Leave if you still love him. I would rather see you happy than possess you." Ask yourself if you could say the same thing about him. He was right. But I needed that insight to realize my ex was more about possessing me than actually being in love with me. I followed that wise, loving man across the country, and never regretted it, not even after we eventually broke up. Wherever he is, I hope he's blissfully happy. Where is this man? I want to eat his wise. I had about a 30-minute breakdown in the bathroom where I was sure I just gave myself AIDS or something after unprotected. With a stripper, I kept thinking, what the hell is wrong with me? Why would you do that? Then I came out of the bathroom and she was there laying on the bed posed for me ready for more, and I thought, well, if she had something to give I've already got it. And I went back for more. By some crazy miracle I didn't get anything. Man, I'm dumb. Actually sort of happened yesterday. For a second I thought I don't have serious depression, and then I'm like, nope, it's still her and I really have a problem. No, I do not have a crush on that rude girl who looks pretty. After coming, I blacked out and woke up as one of the political prisoners on a horse carriage. Hey you're finally awake. Walked into that imperial ambush. Same as us. And that thief over there. So with living in Germany and prostitution being legal and sort of affordable, roughly €100 per hour, I probably saved up thousands by jerking off. Every time the need arises and I actually think, man, maybe this time I should actually go into a brothel, I crank one out and afterwards just think, good thing I didn't go through with that idea. I'm in a 100-degree Port au John, in a desert, sitting next to my rifle, wearing body armor and a Kevlar helmet, getting heat stroke to get the stroke, because the US Army is me. Besides that, 7/10 on TripAdvisor. Would combat Jack again. I was working on a short story for English class and I just couldn't come up with an ending. After dumping a fanciful load, I knew how to neatly end the story. Got the onlyer out of everyone there. Realized that all matter is merely energy condensed to a slow vibration. That we are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. There is no such thing as death. Life is only a dream, and we are the imagination of ourselves. JK, that's a Bill Hicks quote. I'm in it for a few. That felt like a pregnancy nut. That was so good. I felt my balls send out Seaman Team 6 to assassinate Osama bin Laden. I was right. The girl I just nutted to doesn't love me, will never love me, and in most cases will never even know I exist. Also, nobody loves me and now I'm late for work. This will probably be the last time we ever have. Oh, I'm not in love with this girl I just met. Why do I keep jerking it in these nasty porta potties, as I continue to fap in nasty porta potties? Why did I just have with this chick? I gotta get out of here. I should have used a condom too. She better not get pregnant, or have given me an STD. It's like changing back from a werewolf. Edit. Also, a week later it was I just did it again. What the is wrong with me? I gotta get out of here. Dar. She called me Mike. My name is not Mike. I kicked her out as soon as we were done. I realized it mid. But was like, I'll deal with this later and trooped on. I am a victim of sexual assault, and before the incident I was very easygoing with the ladies. Had a girl come over every week or two. Mind you, I was like 15/16 at the time, so after the incident I thought going back to it after a little break was going to be enough to deal with it. But turns out sexual experiences with someone I don't really trust or have any emotional connection with triggers anxiety attacks that make me extremely nauseous and exhausted. Needless to say, I clicked her out after coming like 5 seconds in, puked all over the toilet and never talked to her again.